Hi, I'm Mark Clever and welcome to another Talk Photography, and we've got the amazing Erica with us. I should have asked her how to pronounce the last name before we got going. Sorry.
It's Mulkern. It's not going to be Mulkern forever. It's going to change to Mulberry next year, but Mulkern for now.
So as you've seen, Erica's going to be with us, and we're going to chat about her life as a model and as a dancer and everything else with it and things really. So another great Talk Photography, and we're going to be looking at some amazing images as well. Before we get going, I'm going to do my plug for the Academy, if that's okay with you. So if you're watching us on YouTube, you can basically see that we're a membership site. The Academy's been going for 16 years now. We've got thousands of films online, so you can actually join and become a member of the Academy and watch thousands of films through our legacy content and everything else with it. So if you're not sure what the Academy is about, you can kind of scroll through here, kind of choose the kind of the topic that you want, and then just go for it. At any stage on the site, you'll be able to actually kind of click and join and see what you get for your money and everything else. We're 100 quid for a year. Basically, it's not a recurring subscription with it, so you can pay for a year and then obviously continue on, we hope, and so on with it. But if you want to dip your toe in, there's 3 months for £33, and then you can actually see and still watch and download all of the content, even in those first 3 months. But of course, it's not just the legacy content that we have, it's all the new stuff that we add in each week and each month as well. In addition to the content of film, we've also got lots of assets like our lighting apps, our posing apps. There's some special Photoshop assets as well, presets and brushes, etc., that you can actually use for creativity and so on with it. Look, enough about the plug. This is about Talk Photography. That's as quick as it gets and things really. Let me just bring back my PowerPoint slide to get us going, and we'll start the main event. So, Erica, Mulkern, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's great that you've been going to share some of your history with us. And as a young woman, a young dancer, when as you're a young woman, you've been dancing, what, 24, 25 years?
Yeah, it's going to be 25 years soon, so long time.
I mean, that's a career, isn't it? If somebody began a job 24 years ago, they'd be an expert in things. So you're an expert at what you do.
Yeah, I'm really lucky that I started really young and just completely fell in love with it.
Brilliant. I've kind of called today's session Grace in Motion, the dance and historical portraits of, I just thought it kind of summed up the kind of images we're going to look at today, because besides for being a dancer, you're a bit of a character actress, I would say. Is that pretty right?
Yeah, so I've always loved kind of acting and theatre, definitely. Obviously, dance is like my first passion. But a lot of people don't realize I'm a big old nerd, like real time. And I played Dungeons and Dragons, and then that evolved into something called LARP, which is live action role play. So you go into a field with like 4,000 other nerds and you just run around with fake weapons, and it's a great time. So from that stemmed my love of wearing armor and all these kinds of like pre-Raphaelite things. And yeah, I've just really enjoyed delving into that side of modeling as well, so it's been really fun.
So the question is not on my list, but I have to ask it now. Do you have your own armor?
Yeah, I do.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. So yeah, which we'll see in one of the pictures, and I'll explain a bit more about it. But yeah, I've got my own armor. We have like basically an armory in our one of our spare rooms, because my partner also lost. So we have like arrows, we have a great sword, we have like rapiers, and like we have like loads and loads. Oh, they're all fake, like they're all fake weapons, but we have like an armory. So
if you ever try and sell your flat or your house, you know, and somebody comes to see it, they're going to go, this couple is into some weird stuff.
Oh, I think the neighbours, like, because we're in a tiny cul-de-sac, and it's everyone is so lovely, but we live in Ilkley, which is like a really cute village, and the kind of age demographic is like 60 plus. So in our little cul-de-sac, there's like 20 houses, and everyone knows everything, which is totally fine. But we are very much like, we are the neighbors, everyone's like, oh, they're at it again, like we're putting our like great soda in, but they all love it. They think it's really, really cool. But I do remember when we first moved in and we were bringing like all the stuff into our house, you could literally see like people leaning like, what are they doing? I'm like, it's all fake, don't worry.
Well, I'm sure we're going to explore a little bit, but you have thrown a curveball in there for me, so we'll keep on track. No, it's fine. So as far as the dancer, obviously little girl, passion for it, goes all the way through in education with dance as well and things really. Did you always see dance would lead to a career and lead on to then to modeling, do you think?
It was, I remember distinctly being about 11 years old and I fully sat my mum down and was like, Mum, I want to be a dancer. And she was like, great. I was expecting like some kind of pushback, and I still remember that conversation. She was like, yeah, fantastic. That sounds great. So I think because my parents were really supportive, they were like, yeah, you can make a career if we support you, because it is a thing of like, if you don't have parents to drive you places or mum to look, I mean, it was like through like flyers back at that point, you know, oh, let's have a look at that thing. And, you know, if I didn't have my parents to help or to look at scholarships for me to apply for, or, you know, I wouldn't have got where I am. So they've really helped me realize it could be a career. And my great grandma was also a prima ballerina with Royal Ballet. So it's very like, I knew it could be a career, which was always good.
When did it turn with a bit of modeling? So how long have you been a model dancer? Is it? I'm not sure what the correct expression is.
Yeah. So I was 17, so I was in my first year of degree training at that point, and I was in Leeds, and my dad, through LinkedIn, someone had put, oh, I'm a photographer, I'm studying, I can't remember, I think they were doing a PhD at Leeds University at the time, and they were like, hey, like, I want to start photographing dancers and movement, like, and it was a friend of a friend knew that I dance, so I tagged my dad in it, like, oh, I don't know if your daughter wants to do that, and then he was like, oh yeah, great, and his name is Alex Moldovan, and we literally got internationally published, like, from our first shoot, so it was from that point, and for the first 3 years, I worked TFP. So a lot of these models that start off and they're like, oh yeah, I want to be getting paid X amount an hour. I'm like, you need to put work in and build a portfolio. Don't like get taken advantage of. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, get, like really make sure you're getting things out of it as well. But I was really grateful that I took those few years to actually understand like lighting. What do I like? What don't I like? All the, you know, what outfits work, what poses were, all that. So then when I actually started charging, I felt very like, this is a possible job now. So yeah, it was from 17, so it's been about 10 years now. But like, I'd say like really like starting it as a career was probably from about 20. That's probably when I started to really do it.
Do you know what, that's really refreshing to hear, because, you know, like you said, some models they kind of, I'm going to be a model, and then they kind of charge and they've got no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
And basically, unless they're working with a really good photographer, and the chances are they're not, they're basically just going to not have an enjoyable experience, and neither is the photographer, are they, and things. And working with photographer and model, it's like a choreographer and a dancer in the same way, isn't it? Except the choreographer's a photographer with a camera, and they want certain things done, and you know how to do those things. But unless you're being told how to put them all together, you're just kind of blind leading the blind then, kind of, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think like I knew I wanted to be excellent at it, and you're not going to get excellent if you don't put the work in. And obviously, like, you can be very natural at stuff, and that's all well and good and photogenic and all those kinds of things, but I do think that there's a lot of technical things you need to understand, and also a lot about you as a person, like what kind of people do I like to work with? Maybe I don't like working in groups. It's all these kinds of things that actually you're not, if you're getting paid straight off the bat, you actually don't feel like you can, whoa, hang on, actually, I don't know if I quite like that situation. Can we just take a step back? You feel like you can't say it because you're being paid for it. Whereas if you spent time and discovered it, you're like, these are my boundaries. If you're working with me, you accept them. You know what I mean? So like, I think I was really lucky that I just decided to do it that way, and it worked very well for me.
And you know, I would always actually book a dancer as a model before a model.
Yeah.
So because the work ethic, I'm not saying that models don't have the work ethic,
Oh
but the
no.
majority, you know, when you book a dancer, you almost book an actor at the same time, because they're used to actually putting on the performance. And by doing that, of course, you naturally bring something else to a shoot, no matter what, and things. Whereas obviously, if you need a specific model for a specific style of photography, like boudoir or whatever it would be, you go after that type of model, isn't it? And as long as you're kind of really looking at things, really. Where's most of your time spent now? Is it in dance, or is it as model, or what is it? Because you teach as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I teach and I also still perform, and I have my own production that's Arts Council funded. So it's a lot. I don't know how I do it all. I also now have started sewing, because why wouldn't I do that? I also now make like flower crowns. I'm starting to learn metal work. I just like to create. That's it, you know. So I've just started like embarking on lots of different creative things. But my time each week is different. It is each day is different, which is really, really exciting. But yeah, it's just like, who knows.
How does James feel? Because you must never be home.
Oh, well, James is literally my #1 fan. He is like, if he could have like a t-shirt that says Erica's #1 fan, he would have it. Like, he is the best, most supportive partner I could ever ask for. And what I have really worked hard for is, when I'm home, I'm present. So, you know, work's gone away, or like, cool, this is actually my day off. So I'm not answering any emails, I'm not answering any phone calls. You know, I'm really like, when I'm home, I'm present. And I think that strikes an excellent balance, because I think it would be very difficult if I was away a lot, and then when I was home, I was like working or on my phone or answering emails, or, you know, like, we're very, you know, I'm really present. And also, he's a very independent person. Like, it's the kind of thing, if I'm like sewing or making something, he's like crafting or painting or repairing stuff. Like, we're very creative. So often, like, we're sat in the same room having a conversation, and we're just creating different things. So it doesn't really feel like, you know, we're very like in each other's pockets all the time.
Very, very cool. So I've popped across to your Purple Port page. If people are interested and they're on Purple Port, remember, you can have a free account on Purple Port. It's if you search for ballerina Erica Mulkern, and obviously at Erica Mulkern is the actual tag anyway with it. So we're going to be using your Purple Port for a few of the image kind of choice. We're going to start off with dance, of course, we've chosen this beautiful dance image with the red dress. You said this has become a bit iconic now, is it?
Yeah, this is my most photographed outfit. It is like the dress that has won the most competitions. It like literally has gone global, and it was a £25 dress from a charity shop. So it's really funny, like, remembering that moment where I saw it, and it was a little bit big. And I'm not joking, I video called my mum from the changing room, and I was like, Mum, because I could sew at this point. She could. So I was like, Mum, do you think, and I'm like trying to like show, like, do you think we could like do this and change it? You know, and she's like, yeah, just buy it, because it was like £25. She's like, buy it. And she like did it for me. And I still, every time I wear it, I remember that moment of like, oh my God, this dress is really pretty. And then it's just become my most photographed outfit. And no, I will never sell it. A lot of people have asked me to sell it. I'm never, ever selling it. It is my prized possession. It's priceless. I can't put a price on it.
There's always a price.
Well, yes. I mean,
and you're sewing now, and you're sewing so you can make your own.
The thing is, if someone was like, do you want $1 million? I'll be like, yes.
Yeah, give me the money, baby.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you know, but I'm a passionate dance photographer myself and things really. But anyway, do you prefer to kind of hold a dance pose or a pose, or do you prefer to perform it in motion? What's your preference?
It completely depends, because obviously some stuff is actually really nice static, but I think if you are wanting motion, you need to move through it. You can't really like fabricate it. So it just kind of depends. I call it like the CV shots, which are like the fifth, the arabesque, like these kinds of things. They're really, you want them super static and clean and like pristine. And then for stuff like this image, you actually need that motion and movement behind it. But actually, I'm quite happy to do both. Just depends.
Yeah. When a photographer is booking you as a model dancer, do they ask more for movement-based shots, or do they go for more of a stills image?
On it completely depends. I do often get asked for like, oh, can you bring a tutu and can you bring a floaty dress? So normally with the tutu, that's just staticky, like pretty. I'm on the floor, I'm doing like really pretty poses. And then with the floaty dress, obviously they want motion with it. So normally it is actually pretty 50-50, but then there'll be other shoots where they're like, cool, can you bring like a man's suit? And I'm like, yes, I can. So it just kind of depends.
Do you have like your go-to kind of bag that you pick up and run with anyway, though? So is it more kind of leotard and skirt, or what's your kind of go-to as a dancer?
Oh, go-to. So I'm really lucky. I have a huge wardrobe. I have a dedicated wardrobe that is just for shoot outfits. I'm really lucky. It's a big wardrobe. It's not a little one. So I also have lots of professional tutus. So the professional ones, they're like hooped and they're made by hand and they're proper. So they're not like, I've got 2 of those and they're amazing. So I would easily grab one of those, which is either Swan Lake or Sugar Plum. And they're like incredible. I've got it's an actual Royal Ballet archival piece from the 1970s that was gifted to me by a photographer called Jamie Lazenby. She just gave it to me. I was like, excuse me, this is an archival piece. This is worth like thousands, because it's history. So if it's like archival and Royal Ballet, they will charge a lot for it. So I have that. So I'd probably bring that one with me as well. I'd probably bring my red floaty dress, a different kind of floaty dress, some pretty leotards. And then I always try and bring like a wild card. So I've got like a Peaky Blinders dress. I've got like a Marie Antoinette set. I might bring like a flamenco. I try and bring something that's a bit of a wild card, just in case.
Yeah, excites you and the photographer, of course, isn't it? Yeah. Let's talk about this image before we move on to the next one. So let's say a photographer has never shot dance before, and you kind of go, right, let's do my red dress shot. How would you explain to them about how they're going to nail the image? Because you don't want to be on burst mode, do you? You want to learn to kind of capture the flight, as it were. What's your advice to them, or do you not need to give them advice, do you think?
Normally, I tell them to allow more room than they think, because the dress is exceedingly long. So it's like allow as much more room than you think, especially if I'm jumping. Then what we'll then do is they will count me like 3, 2, 1, and then what I'll say is don't click on 1, click more on like 0, because I actually take off on 1, and then the 0 is that moment normally. And then what we start to do is sync up. So some like triggers and speed of cameras are not straight away. Or it might be that actually I need to prep on 2, or like gradually we start to kind of figure where each of us needs to go before we then make the kind of perfect shot. So it normally is a little bit of trial and error. Some of them bash it straight away. I think this was a straight away image, but it's not that common.
It's that height of flight thing, isn't it, really? You've got to hit your height and perfection with finger and toe and so on. And at the same point, all they've got to make sure they didn't shoot it a millisecond before you're actually at that height of flight element, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you do you prefer color photography or black and white photography?
I think there's a place for both. I honestly can't answer that. I think place for both.
Before we go on to the next image, what draws you to kind of the historical modeling?
It's just really fun, like, because you can be really accurate with it, which I have done some very historically accurate work, but the work that I tend to do is just a bit more like, it exists in a fantasy realm. there's a rough time period. If my button is not from the 1700s, get over it, you know. But like some stuff is more and some stuff is less. But I just think it's really fun to be a character and disappear into that for a while, and then actually, you know, how that character relates to you or doesn't. I just think it's all very interesting, that kind of work.
How big? I mean, we've got a kind of more of a modeling image actually on screen now and things. Really, we'll chat about that in a minute. What's the kind of the extreme? Because you do some underwater stuff as well, do you, or is that just a few times? Or
yeah, so I'm like one of the regular models at Time Space. So I love it. It's so fun. That was like, I just got plunged in, and it was so fun, and I absolutely love it. And I think the main reason I love being underwater is because everything just goes still and quiet. And for a creative, your brain is always just so busy. But when you're under the water, it's quiet. You can't hear the photographers, you can't see them. It's just you are completely present in that moment. And there's just something that's very tranquil about it. And I think I start to understand why I really enjoyed it. I was like, oh, it's because my brain goes quiet for like 2 minutes.
yeah, because just think about breathing.
Yeah, like just like try and look elegant, keep your eyes open, move softly, make sure your hair's not in your face, like all these kinds of things.
Very good. Okay, let's talk about this image. What's the story behind this one?
So this image is taken by a dear friend of mine called Xenia, who is Zavod Zavod Studio. They're currently on maternity leave. I have met her baby. Her baby's literally the most beautiful baby I've ever seen in my life. So she's currently on maternity leave, but we literally never met each other, and I got in touch with her, was like, hey, you know, I really, really love your work. I was wondering, would you like to collaborate? If yes, here's the kind of stuff that I would be interested in. And I hadn't really done a lot of like high fashion stuff at that point. So I was like, you might be taking a bit of a risk on me. And Xenia was like, no, you can, I know you can do this. Like you can absolutely do this kind of work. So it was a nice play date for both of us because we both got to have a lot of work. And then we had an amazing stylist as well called Chloe Don-Levy that helped style the whole shoot. And then we also had a hair and makeup artist called Alona, who's also doing my hair and makeup for my wedding day. So fantastic. So yeah, it was just like a lovely girl team, really just making high fashion and really fun work. And I was like, oh my god, I actually can do this. And she was like, yeah, like of course you can, look at you. I was like, oh my god. So it was really fun.
Beautiful. When's the wedding then?
Next November. So we have
November 26th.
Yeah, we got time.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, we're really excited.
Very good. Are you growing your hair longer again, or is it because it's so long, your hair?
Yeah.
That must be amazing when you're doing the underwater images, no?
Oh, it's gorgeous. Like, because it also, like, if I really lightly hairspray like this bit, then it stays off my face and it just like moves like tendrils. It behaves so beautifully under the water. Like it just kind of keeps moving. And I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, and it's great for all the pre-Raphaelite stuff as well. Like, because that's very of the time, is they had exceedingly long hair. So it works really well for that.
Very cool. So we're going to go down to the historical album. That doesn't mean it was shot a long time ago. It just means it's you dressing up in stuff.
Yeah.
So let's go Armour Girl. Very Joan of Arc.
Yeah. So that is my armor, is that set. So it was hand painted by my mum, all the flowers, which is inspired by a super famous painting called Night of the Flowers. I think it's currently somewhere in Paris. It's being displayed from the 1800s. I think, don't quote me on that, but yeah, it's an amazing painting. And his like chest plate is all flowers, which matches the meadow behind him. So it's like he's a part of the painting. And I was like, this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. I need that. And my mum was like, I got you. She just painted my armor.
It's great to have a creative mum, I bet.
Oh, she's amazing. She's a quilter. That's what my mama does. Yeah, she's amazing. It is though, at LARP, I'm such a target because when you battle the other players, because you've got battles on Saturday and Sunday. So if you battle on Saturday, it links, trust me, like it's not a tandem, like don't worry. So if you battle on Saturday, like you have to monster, which if you monster, you're the bad guys that the other players fight against.
Okay.
So that's how it's fair. That's how you have people to fight against. You also have crew, but like you fight for the other people. So I'm always a target for the monsters, particularly the archers, because it's the kind of thing they're like, oh, 5 rings if you hit the flower knight. So I'm a bit, or like people have got gold armor, so they'll be a target. It's like certain people are like targets to be hit because they're really easy to spot. So now what I do is I literally have bodyguards. I'm not joking. Like I literally have people, so I'm just like, and I'm quite short, so I just disappear so I won't get hit.
Do you have a favorite historical period to dress up with and things?
Oh my god. Okay, so pre-Raphaelite, obviously, because it's just really dreamy, and I'm like, I'm actually a fairy. This is who I am. But I also really love the 1950s, which there is actually some photos in my portfolio where I am dressed in 50s garb. Because I just love being like a stereotypical over-the-top crazy housewife that's like, I'm fine, but I'm pumped on Xanax. You know what I mean? Like that's I like that, like over-the-top, exaggerated kind of character. I think it's really fun.
How do the costumes influence you and your posing again? Like, you know, when you put on the red dress for the dance, is there something that you put on, you go, right, I'm in this character now? Is there something that you always take to a shoot?
Yeah, I think it does depend, because it also depends on the location. So if I'm on location and I'm wearing a specific costume, that immediately will transform into a certain character. It also depends how open the photographer is to character, because some actually really enjoy it. They're like, talk to me about the backstory, the character, like they really enjoy that, and others aren't that bothered, which it doesn't matter. There's no right way of doing it. But I'd say when I'm modeling, I'm also a character. I know that sounds odd.
No, I think that's right.
I'm a character. So it's like, I'm ballerina Erica. Like that's my character. And then from there, I can stem into other characters.
Okay, but it's like Austin Powers.
Yeah, exactly.
So as far as the historical stuff and everything else with it, I'm loving the images here. I absolutely love this image. We only came across it when you were trying to decide on what images we're going to chat about. And I love this photograph.
Yeah, thank you. That's by Simon Carter, as you can see on the screen. It was an event organised by Tabitha Boydell.
Yeah, Tabitha. We've had Tabitha on, yeah.
Yeah, so she's a dear friend of mine. She's absolutely incredible. And this event was so dreamy. And we had Annette Gray, who I think is Oscar nominated as like a wig stylist. So she like got me together. The headdress was made by Revivify. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But yeah, Heather made the headdress, and it was just a really fun shoot. And Simon just like got a little like prism thing, and I was like, yeah, that was the image that was made. But I've known Simon for years. So I know that he's always just going to create great images. So
yeah. Do you enjoy the group shoot mentality?
Yeah, I do really enjoy group shoots as well as one-to-ones. Obviously, they're a lot more intense, and you know, because it's multiple personalities, but they also like each group is different. So then the days go quicker as well, because you're like, oh my God, an hour's gone because I'm on to group 2 now. Or, you know, you might group 3, you're like, oh my God, we're really vibing. Like there's something like, you know, everyone's like collaborating. So groups are more intense because it's more people. And I'm inherently quite a like introverted person. So I'll just be like at lunch and then back into like model ballerina Erica mode. But I love group stuff. It's really fun.
Very cool. The last one on Purple Port we're going to look at before we go to your Instagram is a beautiful image. And we should talk about levels, shouldn't we? Because on all Purple Port, you as a model get to actually decide on what you do and what you don't do with it and things really. And obviously we saw on the kind of the front slide that you kind of, let me just bring up the front slide first so we can kind of show that again where we go in. So, it's beauty, commercial, dance, fashion, fitness, lifestyle, the portrait and wedding and things really. That's very specific, isn't it? And that's where, if you're a new model, you want to make sure that you define your levels that you're going to be shooting at as well with it, isn't it? Because they're going to be a long time out there. And you've got to really decide on that. How hard is it? Because there's a lot of dance models, because of this kind of physical body styling that is also very classic in classic nude photography and fine art and everything else with it. You must get asked all the time to push your boundary, no?
Honestly, I've been really lucky. And I think it's because I'm so strict in terms of like, these are my levels. And even with like an image like this, I have a caption at the bottom that's like, hey, I don't often, it's literally right there. Like, I don't really do this very often. If I want to do it, I'll approach you. It's because this was taken by Xenia. She's a very close friend of mine. It's like literally a best friend, where it's like, hey, if we want to do it, we'll do it. If not, there's no pressure. She's a female photographer. It was an all-female team. Do you know what I mean? It was very like, let's just give it a go. And I have been really, really lucky. I mean, every now and then, obviously, there's someone that like, oh, what about this? And I'm like, did you scroll and have a look at the caption? And then they're like, oh, no. And I'm like, oh, no worries. I always give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm always like, oh, no worries. And then it's always been fine from there. But, you've just got to be really strict with it and just be like, no.
Funny enough, though, this was one of my best-selling images in boudoir photography. So with real clients, real women, it was actually the best-selling kind of pose, one of the best-selling ones, almost guaranteed, because it was in this transition between a fashion portrait and boudoir photography and things really that has that real glamorous. Obviously, your hairstyle in here and your makeup absolutely nails it as well with it and things really. I kind of chose that image because obviously, if we go to your Instagram, it is the kind of the key. Sorry, it is the key image up on the top here and everything else with it, isn't it? And if you'd like to follow Erica on Instagram and things, just search on Erica Mulkern, or all one word. You'll actually kind of find that anyway with it and things. Let's talk about a few more images. Location? Or do you prefer studio, or what's your preference?
It depends. If it's winter, studio. If it's summer, location. Because I, like most models, really suffer in the cold. Tabitha will tell you I do bring my heater on studio stuff, like, or in manor houses, because I am just like, I'm constantly freezing. So if it's summer, I will go on location because we only have a couple of months where the weather is really nice. But that's Ilkley, literally 2 minutes away from my house. So we're very lucky.
What's your preference because obviously, some models are really, really brilliant in the cold and some others suffer. And what's the communication like with you and the photographers beforehand when they're saying, I've got this idea where you're going to be on a rock for 16 hours of a day, and blah, 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 and things really. How does it all, what's the communication like? What goes on between the two of you?
It just depends, because obviously they get in touch like, hey, I want to do location, and it's November. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I take bookings from, April onwards. If possible, I always try and go like more May time because it's going to be even warmer by that point, And if they're like, oh, I wanted to do it now, I'm like, okay, so if I'm wearing winter fashion and my special prescribed gloves, because I have prescribed gloves, really cool, then I'm fine. If not, it's a no from me. Here's a list of models that do really well in the cold, and I'll send them on, basically. So it just depends.
Very cool. Talk to me about this shot or this shoot and things. What's it all about?
Oh my God, this is by the amazing Simone Stock. Simone is literally the nicest person ever. Super talented model and photographer and everything. I mean, like, leave some talent for the rest of us, please. So basically, I got in touch with Simone because we've been trying to arrange a shoot forever, and we're both big fantasy nerds. we'd met officially at a Tabitha event. We sat and talked about art and books, and we were like, are we best friends? Like, what is happening right now? And then obviously I knew that she did photographs, and I was like, oh, hey, like, we really need to try and get something together. And we just managed to have a date. I drove down. I've been lent lots of really lovely things by loads of various people. This particular set was lent once again by Janie Lazenby, a dear friend of mine. So we just went and created, and we had the best girly time ever. So it was fantastic.
It sounds like you really enjoy photographing with women.
Yeah.
You've talked about that quite a lot today. Is there something that it's kind of you prefer a female photographer to work with than a man, because you've had no enthusiasm? Well, you did with Simon and so on with it, but
Yeah.
the bubble I hear in you is really when you talk about working with a female photographer.
It's I think it's honestly more because a lot of the images happen to be from the female photographers. Like, I think I am really happy to work with anyone of any gender. For example, this is by an amazing photographer, Sam Lamont, who is from Ireland. I adore Sam. He's such a sweetie, like perfect example of a male photographer who's an absolute gentleman. But in general, when you work with a female photographer as a female model, there is just an extra layer of like, okay, I'm probably safe. And I know that sounds a little bit odd because obviously you vet people and people got references and everything like that, but there is just something, there's like an extra level of security when you're working with a female. But yeah, like Xenia and Simone are also very inspiring people to me, and they also are amazing photographers. So yeah, I'm really lucky that I've managed to work with them as well.
I was just looking for underwater. Let me just move to that one. There's only a quick video here. I know we're coming to the end of things, but I mean, that's beautiful, that little bit of video.
Yeah, that was really fun. So I organize events as well myself, and that was one that I organized. There's the amazing Halo, who is the studio manager at Tank Space and an actual mer person. So yeah, we just had an amazing time. The photographers that came were so fun. So it was like Red Riding Hood, Snow White, and then Pre-Raphaelite. And yeah, we had all the photographers that came were just really playful and great and respectful. So it's fantastic.
Brilliant. So how do you keep evolving creatively? You know, after 10 years in modeling now, what's keeping you kind of inspired?
I think you've just got to keep pushing yourself and working with people and not being afraid to reach out to people that you're really inspired by and being like, hey, it's probably going to be no, but do you want to work together? Like, I recently worked with Sally Sparrow, who's an insane photographer, absolutely so inspiring. Reached out to her at the start of this year. I was like, hey, you probably have a super long list of models you like to work with. No pressure. Here's my portfolio. Here's the kind of stuff I'd like to do with you. No pressure. Straight away, she was like, yeah, let's book something in. So sometimes you've got to kind of look at people that you either find really inspiring or, you know, you really want to work with, and it's just putting yourself out there. Or when you are working on assignments, there are photographers like, hey, I'm actually quite chill. I don't really have concepts. I'm like, cool, we'll do the classics. Can I also throw this really weird idea out there? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And it's just trying to do more. I'm also making a lot of stuff now and pushing myself in that kind of sector because that's also really fun. So yeah, just
have you noticed a cultural difference when you work in different countries as such? Photographer wise, I mean.
Yeah, I have to say a main difference I've noticed is in Ireland, they literally can't do enough for you. They are so nice and so polite. Like, they literally can't do enough for you. In general, when you tour, people go above and beyond because they want you to come back.
Yeah.
So like, again, in Scotland, like, I'm going on a tour actually from tomorrow until Sunday. I'm literally being chauffeured around. They're feeding me, like, they're literally like, I'm literally being babied for the entire weekend. I'm like, this is great. I love, because they want you to come back. So they really treat you like one of their kids, basically. And I'm like, I'll accept this treatment. Thank you so much. It's great.
A couple of questions left before we get to the end. But guys, girls, if you'd like to actually follow Erica, obviously on Purple Port, as I mentioned, ballerina Erica Mulkern. And then as far as her Instagram and her website is concerned, ericamulkern.com is the website page. And there's also loads of video and everything else within things. But possibly jump over to Instagram, where you can actually follow Erica, because obviously I gather you'll keep that up to date on a daily or a weekly basis anyway, kind of. Yeah. Where's the best place for people to get in touch to do with booking you and everything?
Purple Port, if you're on Purple Port, just because like all my information is there, like literally I even have like a catalog of all my clothes that I'm like, cool. So it's very, Purple Port is very like, would you like to know my entire life story? There you go. But if you don't have a Purple Port, you can always just get in touch with me through Instagram. That's probably the next best way to just get in touch with me. We can go from there.
Brilliant. Is there a particular photographer or a brand you'd like to work with, you know, whether it's at home or internationally? Have you got anybody that is on your hit list?
Oh my God. So we call it LARP Gucci. Okay. It is Arm Street. They are a Ukrainian brand. So, you know, we got to support them. And their stuff is the most incredible handmade things. They are very expensive. But I ordered a dress last year in the sale. I got it, was scrutinizing it within 3 seconds. I was like, oh, this was worth every penny I just paid for this. It is impeccable. And I just bought again another dress and corset in the sale. Got in touch with them like, oh hey, here's a few photos from one of your dresses. They shared me on everything. I was like, am I famous now? And they were saying, oh, we've added you to our list, so hopefully we can collaborate with you in the future. I'm like, please just send me scraps of fabric, send me some of the beads, send me I'll take anything. Just give me anything. So Arm Street, if you're listening, please, I'll do anything.
Well, send us a link and I'll publish it for you as well with it and things, really.
Yeah,
all right.
But they're also just amazing. I was like, even if you don't work with me, I will still continue to buy your things. You are amazing. So.
What do you want people to feel when they're seeing your images, perhaps for the first time?
I think I want them to feel that it's someone who truly wears their heart on their sleeve. And if I feel very safe in an environment, I can be very vulnerable. And I hope that that comes across in a way of like, I can really go into a character, I can go deep, I can do lots of various things. So I hope the main thing that people feel is a sense of vulnerability and artistry, but also hopefully they'll look at something and say, oh my God, they've spent years, you know, dedicating themselves to their craft and also building a wardrobe and making things and all of those kinds of things.
My last question tonight. Thank you very much. This has been brilliant. Honestly, I've loved actually having you. So thank you so much. I'm gutted we've never shot together before. But anyway, what do you hope your legacy will be in both kind of dance and modeling and things? Is there? I know you're only a young woman, and probably the legacy is going to be the tribe of kids you leave behind you if you ever get around to doing that. But
literally,
what's your legacy for dance and modeling, do you think?
Legacy. Okay, so within performing, as I say, I have my own production, Susie Homemaker. We're currently trying to secure a Arts Council bid for a national tour. Don't even get me started on funding. We will get it. It's just a question of when, not if. But anyway, so that I hope is my big legacy. It is a production that is 5 years in the making. I have gone to war for this production. I have fought tooth and nail for every penny we have got. And that is a privilege. And it's something I will continue to fight for. And it is a feminist work. It tells lots of different stories, involves lots of communities. So I hope that that is like the start of my legacy and the start of my artistic work that is my own, isn't me underneath the choreographer. As a teacher, I hope that my legacy is that ballet can be really fun and that I can make a safe space for people, and I'm not gonna like body shame you or cause you deep rooted trauma. You know, that like ballet is fun. It doesn't matter what you look like, just have fun with it. So I think that's my main legacy for teaching. And then for modeling, I hope that my main legacy is that, oh my God, she's still going when she's 70. Because also that's another reason why I'm doing historical stuff, because, you know, your body's going to break down at a certain point, you know what I mean? So like, it's just trying to keep reinventing myself. And, you know, I hope that that is like a legacy, is that, oh my God, like look at her career and she's still going. And yeah, I might, you know, if I'm lucky to get pregnant, then I can do like the pregnant ballerina stuff. I've also said, like, I have a friend that makes armor, so I can get like a little armor bump. How cute is that? That's so cute. So yeah, like we'll just have to see. No, we're not having kids yet, like not yet. But yeah, it's all like that then changes your life, and that's a really cool pathway. Like being a mom, that's fun. What a cool job. You know. So yeah, we'll
Brilliant.
see.
Well, I wish you and James all the success in the world as far as a married couple's concerned, and good luck in the wedding in November 26th. And thank you very much. You've brought a real fairy-like energy of bubble and kind of madness and creative spirit and things, really. And very well done. You're a real passion to talk to, because if anybody's thought about, do you know, I fancy photographing a dancer, but I don't know who or what or where, then I don't think you can look too much further than yourself, to be honest. So a very good luck with that and everything else with it and things, really. And anything I can do for you in the future, just give me a shout and things, really. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been really fun. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thanks everybody for watching us, and I'm sure you'll see a lot more of Erica at some stage. We'll grab her back, okay? Whether it's when she's got a bump and an armor to protect it and she's got nothing else to do except for speak to me, or at some stage when she's doing some weird stuff and things. Really. Thanks everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.